Hey guys, welcome back to another interesting video on Wild Rift. So today we're back with a very interesting Varus supplementary guide, and it's gonna be on, as you guys can see here, Tank Varus. Now, I know what you guys might be thinking, because when I first saw this build, I was like, this is a troll build. But I'm gonna pull up the screenshot right now of this guy who played this in the support position, and I think he confused his ADC, because his ADC ended up going for a Lulu, because I guess he thought the support was trying to steal the ADC position, and the Lulu ended up building AP, and this guy ended up being the support. However, when I was playing against this guy, I realized that he was so difficult to kill, and at the same time he did a really decent amount of damage. Like, obviously he does less damage than a full damage Varus, but honestly the difference isn't even that much. So I decided that in this particular match, I was against a very high damage team, and I was like, you know what, let me just try out this tank Varus and see how it goes, and it went pretty well. You guys will see in the gameplay a little bit later on. So the main basis of how this build works is basically Varus's W does percent health damage. So regardless of whatever you're building, even if you're building complete nonsense, it doesn't matter in the sense that his W is always gonna do the same amount of damage when you pop the blight stack. So it does percent health damage. So you could be building I don't know, some complete rubbish. I mean, honestly, now with Tank Varus, is there really a rubbish build for Varus? He can build lethality, he can build crit, he can build on hit, he can build AP, he can build tank apparently now also. So is there really any bad build for Varus at this point? But anyways, the point is that you are gonna still be able to do damage. So let's jump into what the loadout actually is. So you're first going to start off with a Gluttonous Greaves, which is going to give you a little bit of AD and Omnivamp right at the beginning. Now, I've seen most people who go for this build, they like to go for defensive boots, but I personally think that you should get at least some damage at the beginning. If not, you're going to be doing like very little damage from anything other than popping your W. Same problem as AP Varus. So I like going for Gluttonous Greaves at the start. And also when you get tanky, the Omnivamp actually becomes really good, because they can't kill you and you keep lifestealing. So the first I'm going to go for is Heartsteel. Now Heartsteel obviously gives you 700 max health, ability haste, as well as health regen, all of those nice tanky stuff. And of course you also get the passive, which you're going to be able to proc the Heartsteel on people who are close to you. Now I have to say that on Varus, you don't actually end up proccing Heartsteel all that much, because normally either they are already dead when they get close to you, or you're going to have to kite away from them, because at the end of the day, you may be building tank, but you're still not exactly very tanky, so you don't necessarily want to just frontline and tank damage. So honestly, I would say this is more for the 700 health than for the passive itself. So next up, you're going to go for Titanic Hydra, and this is kind of where the build really comes in. So it's another 550 max health, but the part that kind of pulls the build together is you gain AD equals to 15 plus 2.5 bonus health. So 15 plus the bonus health from Heartsteel and the bonus health from Titanic Hydra is going to give you nearly 50 AD. And by the time you get to Riftmaker, or if you have gotten stacks on your Heartsteel, you will get 50 AD from this. And 50 AD is a really decent amount of AD. It's close to like what an IE would give you. It's like basically what a Bloodthirster would give you. So that's a really good amount of AD plus health from your first two items. And then you're going to go into Riftmaker. Now what Riftmaker gives you is multiple things. Firstly, it gives you more health. It gives you AP to kind of scale up your Blight pops. Ability haste, the magic pen, not too important here, but we also get the Omnivamp, so even more Omnivamp, because at this point you're going to be really tanky. So the Omnivamp is going to help you to heal up, as you're tanking damage, you can also heal up the damage back up. And you also have the Void Corruption passive, which in this case is going to just amplify whatever damage you have at the moment. And then this is where we go into Twin Guard. So Twin Guard, obviously, it's kind of the best all-round defense item, because it gives you both stats, and it gives you additional armor and magic resist and tenacity as well. It's pretty much a fixed item here, because you already have so much health, and what you need now is defenses. The only time you maybe don't want to go for Twin Guard is if the enemy is either all AD or all AP. Then you can build more specific items to counter them instead of building Twin Guard. But if the enemy team has AD and AP, you pretty much always want to go for Twin Guard. And for your last item, this is where the flexibility comes in. So as a default, I would go for GA just for the revive. However, you can really go for a lot of items. Since you're really tanky at this point, you could go for something like a Hurricane to apply Blight stacks onto multiple people at one go to pop them, which is of course your main form of damage in this build. You could go for something like a Wit's End, which is going to give you the magic resist, as well as some attack speed. You could also go for Steric's Gauge for the lifeline shield, which gives you even more health, which again will be converted to AD because of your Titanic Hydra. And then you could also just go for pure defensive items. So you could go for things like Spirit Visage against magic damage, things like Iceborne Gauntlet against physical damage, Randuin's Omen, pretty much just items like this, Frozen Heart, whatever the situation calls for. And if you need anti-heal, Kempang Chainsword is going to be there. Gives you all more health and all of the good stats as well as the anti-heal. But honestly, Varus has anti-heal on his E already, so generally you won't need this Kempang Chainsword. But some matches where there is simply too much healing, you might need to build anti-heal. So for the runes, you want Conquer because you're really tanky, so it's really easy to just stack up your Conquer, and then you're going to get a lot of extra AD as well as additional Omnivamp when you fully stack it. You still auto attack, so Brutal is going to be good here. Giant Slayer really good for taking down tanky targets, and it's just generally the best rune for the slot. You go for Legend Alacrity to get some attack speed because you have completely no attack speed in your build at all, so this is going to be very helpful. And here I like to go for Bone Plating for the early lane as well as it does also help, of course, in the later parts of the game, but you are already kind of tanky later on, so it's not too important in the later part. I think this is a lot more important for the laning phase. Now, very popular is also Overgrowth, because Overgrowth, of course, does give you stacking health, which is, of course, going to help your Heartsteel do more damage, and it's going to help your Titanic Hydra to convert more health into AD as well. But I personally prefer the Bone Plating, because in the early lane, you can, kind of face some difficulty, so that's a little bit better in my opinion. And for the spells, you want to go for Flash, and you want to go for Ghost majority of the time, because you still are, really benefit from movement speed and just kiting around. But you can also go for Exhaust if you're into a very high damage team, which I was in the gameplay, as you will see right after this. Speaking of which, let's just move on to our gameplay. Okay, so now into the gameplay itself. Now, if you guys are still skeptical about this build, I don't blame you guys, because I was just as skeptical as well. But you guys will see after the gameplay that this build is not troll. It's actually really good. And later on at the end of the gameplay, take a look at the stats. You will see that I did the most damage and I tanked the most damage as well. Just imagine your ADC tanking the most damage in addition to doing the most damage. That's kind of insane. In fact, I'm kind of surprised about how good this build actually really is. So kind of what I've got picked up from playing Varus quite a bit in recent times is that at level 1 you can actually take Q, W, and E. So whichever one you take, it's all gonna have their own pros and cons. So nowadays I like to start off E because it gives me the best poke. However, you can see here that in this match I actually started W, and you only want to ever start W if you're able to auto attack the enemy. So you can see there at the start of the match I was able to auto take the Jinx a little bit, and here I'm able to get off another trade with the Jinx. So your W at level 1 or in the early levels does insane amounts of damage. Like your auto attack damage is insane with your W because it gives you extra on hit damage when you activate your W. So if you're ever in an all-in at level 1 or anything like that, your W is going to be 10 times better than your Q and your E. Like, no joke, your W is completely OP at level 1 as long as you're able to attack. You're going to out-trade anybody level 1, maybe except Draven. But, yeah, insane damage at level 1. So here, I have my arrow now. I'm going to just one-shot the Jinx with the help of the Nami Bubble. Morgana is forced to flash. So Jinx had, had to flash earlier. Morgana now has no flash. Morgana doesn't have heal from the previous exchange as well. And me and Nami have basically everything up except for the heal, where she just healed me just now. So here Talon and Lee Sin getting into a scuffle. I'm going to let Nami handle it. I'm going to back and get my Gluttonous Greed, which is going to make my early game even stronger. Now, Varus has a very strong early game as long as you're going to be able to attack people and pop your stacks. Whichever build you're going on Varus always has a good early game. The only kind of problem is when you're getting bullied in the lane, because obviously you have very low mobility and you're very susceptible to poke. And although Varus does do a good amount of poke with his arrow and with his E, you have to realize that, he's not really the best at poking. Even though he has 2 poke spells, he's not the best at poking. So you are going to take quite a bit of damage. So here, I'm just waiting for Nami to get back to lane. In the meantime, I'm just trying to farm up some minions. In the meanwhile, they've come under tower, so I'm just going to quickly pick up these minions. And we're going to try to stop Morgana from backing. She does, get scared off by the fact that we're walking there, so she can't actually back. I'm going to assume that Jinx has backed, and Jinx is going to make her way back to lane. We're still stopping Morgana from backing, because obviously we don't want to let her get a free reset. If she desyncs with the Jinx, which I think is what's happening now most likely, then Jinx will now be stuck alone, and we can kind of, bully her off of the minions, get some free poke, etc. We now hit level 5. Kennen comes in with the ulti. Nami flashes away. I'm going to hit Kennen with an ulti of my own and try to burst him down. the nullifying orb there actually saves his life, and then he picks up the fruit, so he's safe once again. Jinx gets the blight stacks onto her from the ulti, and I'm able to actually pop her with an arrow. The blight stack from the ulti actually fell off, so that was actually just my auto attack that added one blight stack to her, and I was able to snipe her for the quick kill. So you can see here I'm starting to snowball. So you might be thinking, you know, you got two very early kills. Before that, you can see Talon dies on the tower as well. Now, I'm going to talk about two things. The first thing is me snowballing. The second thing is what that Talon did right there. So if you guys didn't know, the trick against Talon is if you spot him on vision, which we spotted him coming over, hopping the wall, so we knew he might be going for Nami. The only way you can really counter him is to spam your exhaust button. If you replay that clip right there, you can see the moment he came out of vision, he was exhausted. It's kind of the same as the Kha'Zix trick, where if you know he's coming, you want to spam your exhaust. So at the moment he comes out of vision, he's going to get insta exhausted and he's not going to be able to kill. And I actually saved the Nami's life right there and got a kill for myself onto the Talon as well. So it's kind of a win-win situation for my team right there. So the second thing I'm going to discuss is the fact now I've got 3 early kills. So why am I going for this tank build? I could just be going for some damage build, and you know, I could just be one-shotting them instead. Well, that is true, and I won't disagree with that. But in this game, I simply wanted to try out the tank build because there was so much damage on the enemy team. Like if you look at it, there are 3 people on the enemy team who can kill me before I'm able to do anything, and that's Malphite with his ulti. Before we get into that, let's talk about the fight. Here, I get the root onto Morgana, which transfers onto the Jinx, which transfers onto the Cannon, and we're trying to get any one of them. They're all really low. I flash forward, try to finish Cannon off. He goes down to, I think it's the Seraphine, and here I don't know what my team is doing. Like, we are all greeting, they are all greeting over Morgana, and 3 of them die to the tower trying to kill the Morgana, which I eventually managed to get because I see them committing and I go for I commit to the kill. But I don't know why we are all trying to dive tower with our minions. Honestly, yeah, I think that was really troll. Like, we either just needed to leave the kill, or if not, we just push in the minions and then we can dive together instead of like 3 low HP people tanking the tower one by one and just all dying, which makes no sense whatsoever. But hey, you know, it is what it is. I pick up another kill from that. So back to the discussion about why we're going for the tank build. So Malphite, he's building AP. You can see he has the mana boots, he has the last chapter. He's going for, I think it's Ludens, I guess. So he's going full AP. He can one-shot me. Talon obviously can one-shot me as well. And Cannon, if he gets off a good ulti, can also one-shot me. So I was thinking, there's no point in going for like a full damage build when there are 3 people on the enemy team that can one-shot me if they choose to target me. Because I'll be dead instantly every time, especially if no one else on my team is doing well. They're always going to target me. And as of now, Seraphine's doing alright. Lee Sin and Teemo, not too hot. So I'm going to be like the only target on their team, and they're just going to one-shot me every time. So even if I build like full damage, I'm just going to get destroyed instantly. So I was like, alright, this is a good match to try out this tank build. So with the tank build, I can survive a lot more. You guys will see later on how much damage we can take and how we survive. Cannon tries to come in, ults down the Nami goes down. I break Morgana's tether, and I'm just trying to, you know, escape the situation, which I am able to do. Seraphine comes over just to, I guess, help out a little bit. And yeah, so I think that in this particular match, the tank build is really, really good. Of course, the downside of the tank build is you're going to be doing a lot less damage just in terms of your auto attacks. Especially here, if I was going for the damage build here, this Jinx would have been dead. I mean, I would have still killed her here if I hit the E, but because she flashed away, she doesn't die. But if I was going for the damage build, she would have died before the route even was over. So here again, I do the same trick. Talon's coming in, I insta-exhaust him because I know he's gonna come, so I'm spamming my exhaust button. The moment he appears, he gets exhausted. So again, I easily survive just simply because of the spam exhaust. Of course, you can't do this trick if there's someone else nearby because you're gonna exhaust them instead. But if no one else is in your exhaust range and you spam the exhaust, you know, you are gonna be able to actually get the exhaust onto the target that you want. So here, I don't know what Lee Sin's doing. He's playing way too aggressive. He just ends up going down to Jinx, and not much we can really do after that. We are just going to have to back off. Cannon picks up the Seraphine as well. And yeah, so here I'm 4-0-1. I'm doing pretty well. You can see that we got some Heartsteel stacks already, but not too much. And we're not expecting to get too much Heartsteel stacks, you know, throughout the game. I think if you get like, you know, 2 to 300, that's pretty good already. Because again, it's really difficult to stack Heartsteel on Varus because you don't really want to go so close. to the enemy team to stack your Heartsteel. So here, I get rooted by Jinx, I root her in return using my ulti, and here is the part where I get 4-man dive. Now here, I was trying my best to predict Malphite's flash. I was trying my best to predict Malphite ulti, and I was trying my best to flash away from the Malphite ulti, but he holds it and waits for me to flash first, and then hits me with the ulti, so I do end up going down. Bean Sprout, which is the cannon, is gonna go down. Interesting name, and he just gets taken out by the Lee Sin. So yeah, I mean, not much you can do to the situation when you're getting 4-man dive. There's really not a lot that you can really do. So it kind of is what it is, and we do end up going down. We did, however, get the Malphite and the cannon ulti, which is already kind of coming up really soon. So it's not that important in the end. No objectives are really coming up that soon, anyways. So yeah, not too important. So here, I believe we can get Hydra, so we're gonna back and get Hydra. This is probably the biggest power spike you can get in the game, which is the Heartsteel plus Hydra spike, because that's where all your AD comes from, and you got double health items. You're gonna be a very, very tanky person. So yeah, I mean, the cleave passive is also pretty nice to get a little bit better wave clear and a little bit better damage, but honestly, that's not really the point of the Hydra here. It's mainly for the actual stats. So here, if Malphite tries to ult me, I believe there's no way he one-shots me because I have way too much health. I have like, an extra like 1,000, like what, 350 health or something like that. No, 250 health, yeah, that's way too much health for Malphite to just one-shot, in my opinion. So here, Talon tries to come in. I try to ult him, but he does hop the wall, so he does escape from my ulti, unfortunately. And now we are just trying to get something done. We're all in the mid lane. Lee Sin's kind of a little bit off to the side. The enemy team is all mostly in the mid lane as well. So it's kind of becoming an ARAM. But nothing too much is happening. And our wave states are kind of horrible on the other sides of the map. The Teemo is going to deal with one of the waves. And here we have the dragon, which has spawned. And here is going to be another kind of team fight. Here where we're going to be able to we're going to contest. Here Malphite goes in with the ulti, but doesn't actually hit me. So I'm going to just one-shot him. With the help of my bite stacks, and here I'm on the back line, killing the Talon. I don't know why I keep saying cannon when it's Talon. And here I'm dodging the Jinx stuff. I root her down. I'm able to pick up the triple kill, and you can see how long I actually survived there. With the cannon and the Morgana damage, but I eventually do end up going down. Morgana dies as well, and cannon dies to the burn eventually, and we actually get an ace off of a kind of unintentional Varus flank. So I wasn't really intending to flank there, but the fight ended up starting off at the other side, aside from the Malphite ulti. So after we one-shot the Malphite, the fight was kind of on the left side, and I kind of ended up being on the back line, which was kind of funny, because I did end up taking out the Talon, and after that the Jinx. So that was a pretty funny occurrence, but yeah, that was kind of what happened right there. It's gonna pick up the Proto Belt. Really useful for some extra mobility. He's gonna help me to dash away from Malphite if I see him. Dash out of Cannon's ulti, and maybe dash to dodge Morgana's root as well. So I always like to go for Proto Belt on Varus unless QSS or Stasis is absolutely necessary. Like for example, playing against a Zed and Fizz kind of situation, and especially in this match where I'm literally building tank. Extra mobility is going to be way more important than something like a stasis, because I already am so tanky. I can already probably survive. I don't really need a stasis in this match. So here I'm back at mid. We're trying to force down the mid tower, which is going to open up the map when we get it. So we finally do get the mid tower. Malphite is split pushing at bot instead. They actually set a trap for Lee Sin. Lee Sin is going to go down for sure, but they did use their ultimates, except from Malphite, who still has his. I try to Proto Belt forward for the root. I actually get the root on Malphite as he's ulting me. Cannon goes into stasis. I'm going to exhaust the Talon so he doesn't just kill me. And we're just going to focus down the Cannon. He goes down to Seraphine. And Talon's obviously just hopping away to safety over all of the walls. So definitely can't catch him. Okay, we're just going to clear up the minions and then we can reset. So here I spot a Jinx coming down, but I didn't think it mattered. Talon actually ults and goes for the Seraphine and actually kills the Seraphine. Although I don't think there's a lot I could have done to help her there. So we end up just backing and getting more components. So here not much is really going on. Baron has spawned. I'm just going to quickly clear this jungle camp. And Malphite is pushing in. And now just kind of clearing the wave. I don't know why Jinx randomly ulted me there. Jinx has been using her ults to like get vision, I guess, like quite a number of times, which is quite interesting. I wouldn't really use Jinx out like that because I think it's kind of a waste to use it to check vision unless you're checking like Baron or something. It's kind of a waste. But we are able to pick up our Riftmaker, and now we're just going for Twin Guard, just copying the guy's build. Basically, of course, copying, but knowing what the build is all about. Like, I know how the build works. I'm not just blindly copying the build. So I know what's going on. I know how to change the build if I need to. But for now, this build is working perfectly fine. So now we're back in the mid lane. Looks like another ARAM is about to occur. You can see like at least 3 enemies there. Talon one-shots the Teemo, and we can't really chase him because he's just hopping over the walls. Thankfully, he dashes into Lee Sin, and Lee Sin is actually able to finish him off because he was a little bit unlucky there. He dashed right into Lee Sin, and Lee Sin could easily just finish him off. Here, I see that Jinx has gotten caught. I try to proto belt forward, but unfortunately it doesn't quite work. Look at how much damage I'm tanking from the Cannon ulti, by the way. I'm still relatively healthy. And the Jinx ulti after that. And I'm just going to pick up some fruit here. Cannon is on the run, and there's not a lot I can do to chase him. I've pretty much used my mobility already. I can flash after him, but I don't think I can kill him, so I don't think it's worth it. So here, we can go for some tower. So here I'm pinging to go for the tower, but the Lee Sin kind of trolls here. So Lee Sin, I don't know why he's standing there and recalling. We need both of us to get this tower, especially because there's a Cannon and a Talon. So since Lee Sin doesn't want to go for a tower, I'm just walking away. Lee Sin cancels his recall, and now he's getting caught by Talon and Cannon. So now he dies to Talon and Cannon, gets shut down for really no reason. Essentially, he has done nothing there. All he really did was to just stand there and do nothing and then die. And now Talon can actually chase me. So I'm actually running all the way back to tower before I recall because he can just hop all of the walls in the jungle and try to chase me down. Although I honestly think at this point, with like he has only double lethality item at the moment, and I have already like armor in my build, so I don't actually think he one-shots me. But he does get the Baron here though, because of Lee Sin dying, which is not a lot we can really do about it. The Teemo is going for the Jinx, and Jinx is burning down to the poison. Jinx does end up going down, so it's a really, really important pick there. Talon is going in onto the Teemo. Teemo goes down, but Talon gets caught, and I'm able to just basically auto-attack him down. And now just clearing up the Baron minions. Lee Sin is now on the opposite side of the map. We can go for the dragon if we wanted to, so I'm just plopping down the control ward and getting the dragon. The Jinx and the Talon are both dead, so here only Malphite is around, and he's stuck in a 1v1 versus Lee Sin. So I'm just attacking the dragon. Malphite goes down to Lee Sin. Lee Sin comes over to secure the dragon, and Morgana just plops down the puddle there to see if anything can really be done, but not really. And here we reset, we pick up the Twin Guard, so really, really tanky now. We have a lot of health, a lot of defenses, and also a lot of healing from both the Gluttonous Greaves as well as from the Riftmaker. So Seraphine picks up the red buff even though she is a mage. I mean, I do already have red buff, but it's gonna run out, pretty soon because it's already like 3/4 way through the duration. But here I'm just gonna pick up the Raptors. Hydra AoE is helping me to get that. So now we're just gonna clear the wave. Baron is going to enemy Baron, sorry, is lasting for another couple seconds, and the Elder Dragon is coming up in half a minute. So next fight is gonna probably be at Elder Dragon, so you wanna kind of be ready for that. I'm actually gonna just recall and pick up another armor item, just because I do have enough gold for it, so why not just pick up that armor item, of course building towards the Guardian Angel, and then we can head over to the Elder Dragon that's spawning. While on the way there, I was thinking of clearing a wave because the wave is kind of pushing in, but don't know if I have time to do that. So I'm gonna quickly make my way to the Elder Dragon. I'm gonna just focus down this Skull Crab to secure the vision. Malphite is running after me and Lee Sin. He still has ult, obviously. Kennen and Morgana and Talon all used ulti already. So here I'm gonna go ulti onto the Malphite. I'm trying to focus him down. My ulti is actually spreading all over the enemy team. A nice 4-man ulti by the Nami. I get a triple kill. And everybody pretty much goes down with the exception of the Jinx, who is now stuck on 1 HP. So this pretty much secures us the Elder Dragon. And we do grab that. And then we obviously now with the Elder we can pretty much do whatever we want. Now the issue here is that I have no mana. So only the Jinx is left alive. Now you can see that her ulti does basically no damage to me because I'm at full health. I have no mana here, so all I can actually do is auto attack. And I'm slowly regaining mana. And it's not a lot I can do, so I don't think we can get this tower because she's going to clear the wave instantly, and she does. So all we can really do is to get this top tower, reset, and then maybe go to Baron, because Baron's spawning in 10 seconds, and with the Elder we should be able to secure that. So here I'm just going to go into this bush and recall. Now I hope my team doesn't troll and pick a random fight in the enemy jungle here, but I'm going to reset, get back my mana, and hopefully we can go for the Baron. So while waiting for my team to come over, I'm just going to quickly grab this red buff. Lee Sin just took the enemy red buff, so don't really need to share this with him necessarily, although there isn't really much to lose. Kennen is actually checking the Baron, gets hit by a little bit of Seraphine poke. And we already have a control ward in the Baron pit, so we know that the enemy team can't really see. We also know that Malphite's at the top lane, so we know everyone else is probably here. Everyone else is actually here, except for the Malphite who's on the opposite side of the map. So here we're pinging for Baron. We really should be doing Baron because we're like full HP. But Lee Sin is going into the enemy jungle for some reason, and Teemo is not actually here. So here we decided to instead commit to a play onto the enemy instead. We get the cannon. I'm going to protobelt forward to get the Morgana. I protobelt into the root, but I'm going to actually use the long range arrow with the help of the Elder Dragon to actually finish off that kill. Now Jinx is going to be the next target. I have my Twin Guard fully stacked up, and you can see I take almost no damage from the tower there. I'm just going to walk in, auto attack her, and get the kill onto her. And now Lee Sin decides to do the Baron. So now I have my GA on base, so I'm just going to grab the GA and then head over to the Dragon. This is just in case like a fight randomly breaks out there and like Malphite one-shots me or something like that. Although that's pretty unlikely, but hey, you can never really be too safe. So I'm just going to grab the GA, for good measure. And we grab the Baron. So now with the Baron, Nami is actually pushing down the mid inhib. Probably is going to get it, and I'm going to go for this bot lane where we have a wave. So Seraphine is joining me in the push, and again that tower didn't actually do any damage to me. So here I'm just counter jungling. I'm already full build, but this is more to deny than to actually get gold to farm. So the whole enemy team might be coming for us, and Lee Sin and Teemo are on the opposite side of the map. So we are trying to be careful here. Now I was trying to set a trap here, but Talon has Edge of Night, so I can't exactly ult him even if he walk by. So I'm just going to remove the control ward and kind of see what happens. So Seraphine is down. We're in a 4 versus 5, but we do have Baron. Of course, we don't have Elder anymore. So and we are also full build, so we can still look for some picks, things like that. So we're gonna Baron up this wave so Malphite can clear it. And Lee Sin goes for a flash forward and tries to go for a play onto Jinx, but Jinx is able to get out. We're just gonna clear up this wave, and here I spot a wave in the bot side, so I want to get this inhibitor. So I'm going to quickly clear out this wave while the Teemo and the Lee Sin are distracting them at the top lane. I'm going to escort this wave into the tower. I thought the wave was in the tower, but I ended up tanking a tower shot instead because the wave was not in the tower. Now we have double cannon minions and the next wave coming into the tower. I ulti onto the Jinx, try to one-shot her. I get rooted by the Jinx and the Morgana. I'm tanking the tower, but with the Twin Guard, you know, I'm really tanky. I finish her off easily, and I'm protobelling forward for more, and you can see I'm taking a lot of damage. Finally, I end up going down, and my GA does pop. I'm in a little bit of danger, but I'm just gonna flash out, finish off the kill over there onto Talon, and Kennen decides he wants none of it, and he's running for the hills. And at this point, the game is won. I'm just focusing the Nexus. Our minion wave dies, so I tank a tar shot. But here I'm just picking up a few more minions just for the stats, and then we finish off the game. So, as mentioned, you can take a look at the stats. We did the most damage and tanked the most damage as well. So this build really does work. So thank you guys so much for watching the video, and goodbye.